Hello children, let's come back to our maths class. Today we are going to start with a new exercise, that is exercise 2.4 from the second lesson, that is complex numbers. I hope you remember the definition for complex number. Let us recollect the definition for complex number, children. Yes, what was complex number? It is of the form x plus iy, where x is the real part, y is the imaginary part, and the I is the imaginary unit. So this was the basic thing that we have seen in the definition of complex number. And whenever you arrange the complex numbers, you have to arrange the real part first, and later on you have to arrange the imaginary part. Or in other words, the number without I, that is the number without I, is called the real part, and the term with I is called the imaginary part. So this is what you have to be thorough with. So the x part is the real part and the y part is the imaginary part. Suppose I give you an example. If you have 5 plus minus I8, okay, 5 plus I8, here the 5 is the real part and this 8 is the imaginary part. So you have to be clear how to separate the real part and the imaginary part, which will be useful in our exercise 2.4. Okay children, so also you have seen some of the properties of complex conjugates. Just come to page 61. Let us have a small recap of the properties that we have seen in our previous classes. What was the first property, children? Yeah, it was Z1 plus Z2, that is conjugate of Z1 plus Z2 is equal to conjugate of Z1 plus Z2. Similarly, conjugate of Z1 minus Z2 is Z1 conjugate minus Z2 conjugate. Then Z1, Z2, this multiplication, conjugate of Z1 into conjugate of Z2. Then for division also we use this property. Z1 upon Z2 conjugate is equal to conjugate of Z1 upon conjugate of Z2. So we have totally seen around 10 properties, children. So this was the first 4 property which dealt with the 4 different operations, like you had addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Now next one, what was the 5th one? Real Z, that is real part of Z. How are you going to find real part of Z? How to take the real part of Z? The formula is Z plus Z bar upon 2. What is the formula for finding the real part? Z plus Z bar upon 2. And how to find out the imaginary part? This is Z minus Z bar upon 2i. Remember the formula, children? How to find out the imaginary part of a complex number? This is Z minus Z bar upon 2i. Next one, the 7th one is Z raised to n conjugate. That is Z raised to n conjugate. This is Z conjugate the whole raised to n. So this was one of the property we have seen. And also we have seen that Z is real if and only if Z is equal to X. Z is equal to, okay, they have just given you a condition here, Z is equal to Z bar. When you say, when is Z real? Z is real if and only if Z is equal to Z bar, that is Z conjugate. And when is Z purely imaginary? Z is purely imaginary if and only if Z is equal to minus Z conjugate. And the last one we have seen, Z double conjugate. Z conjugate of a conjugate is equal to Z. So these are the important points that you have to remember. We may use some of the properties for finding the solutions in exercise 2.4. This is a very simple property. Already I have explained about this, already we have discussed about this property in the previous class. So now we are going to continue with our exercise 2.4. Take down your classwork, children. Take down your classwork. Write on today's date. Give the heading exercise 2.4. Write out the first question. Write out the first question. Write the following in the rectangular form. Write the following in the rectangular form. The first one. Five plus 9i plus 2 minus 4i. This is very easiest exercise. Only the thing is you have to understand and you have to just separate the real part and the imaginary part. Once you are clear with the definition of complex number, when I started with this exercise, I have given you the definition for complex number. Definition of complex number, it shows that the complex number, it's been comprised of, or it is a combination of real part and the imaginary part. Yes, children? So you have to be clear for identifying the real part, and also you should know how to identify the imaginary part. That's what we have to do in this particular exercise. Okay, children? So now here, what is given you? Conjugate. Okay, a conjugate of 5 plus 9i plus 2 minus 4i. This is the question given to you. Now let us simplify this. Now what are they asking you? They are asking you to write down in a rectangular form. Now what is a rectangular form? Rectangular form means you have to write down this as x plus iy form. You have to write as x plus iy form. Okay, children? So this is what called as a rectangular form. So let's solve the sum and let's try to write down in a rectangular form. So this is equal to, we have seen in the property, if you have conjugate of z1 plus z2, this can be written as conjugate of z1 plus conjugate of z2. I hope you are clear with the first property, yes, children? So we are going to use the first property over here. So this is equal to conjugate of 5 plus 9i plus conjugate of 2 minus 4i. So we have used the first property. So what is the first property we are using? Conjugate of z1 plus z2 is equal to conjugate of z1 plus conjugate of z2. We have already studied how to find the conjugate. How you get the conjugate, children? Just come to page 60. Take down page 60. You have a definition over there. How you get the conjugate? The conjugate is defined as a complex number x minus iy. That is, you have to just change the sign of the imaginary part. If you have a complex number x plus iy, the conjugate of this is x minus iy. Be careful, children. What are we going to do? We are going to change. So here the complex number was x plus iy. Yes. So how are you going to get the conjugate? You are getting x minus iy. That means you are changing the sign of the imaginary part. Try to use a real part. Try to use imaginary part so that you will be clear with the different parts used in complex number. So what is the conjugate number? You have to change the sign of the imaginary part. Just again I repeat you, what is the meaning of conjugate? Changing the sign of the imaginary part. So plus iy is changed to minus iy. That's what we call as the conjugate of a complex number. So now let's proceed. So this is conjugate of 5 plus 9i. What is the conjugate of 5 plus 9i? I told you when you apply the conjugate, you have to change the sign of the imaginary part. This is a real part, this is the imaginary part. A real part, imaginary part. So let's write down the answer. So this is equal to 5 minus 9i. What is the conjugate of 5 plus 9i? 5. The plus sign changes to minus. Remaining all I am to write down as it is. Let's come to the second part over here. 2 minus 4i. The term with I is called the imaginary part. We are going to change the sign of the imaginary part. So this is minus 4i. So minus 4i will change to plus 4i. So I get here 2 plus 4i. I hope you are clear, children. Have just taken on the conjugate of 5 plus 9i, which is 5 minus 9i. And also we have taken down the conjugate of 2 minus 4i. That's 2 plus 4i. Clear? Now you know how to do it. So take the real parts together and take the imaginary parts together. So this is 5 plus 2 minus 9i plus 4i. So 7 minus 5i. Very simple. So we have, this was a number which was in a conjugate form, like you were having conjugate. Now what we have done, we have replaced the conjugate in terms of a rectangular form. So we have got a rectangular form. What is the meaning of rectangular form? A complex number which is written in the form of a real part and the imaginary part. 7 minus 5i. 7 is the real part and 5i, that is 5. The 5 is the imaginary part here. So you get minus 5. Yes, children? So the answer is 7 minus 5i. Write down the sum. Write down the second subpart now. I hope you are clear with the first subpart. It was very easy, yes, children? Let's move to the second subpart. 10 minus 5i. 10 minus 5i upon 6 plus 2i. 6 plus 2i. 10 minus 5i upon 6 plus 2i. So let's see how to simplify this in terms of a rectangular form. Okay. So now just remember, children, whenever you have I in the denominator part, okay, whenever you have an imaginary part here, try to take the conjugate of the denominator and multiply and divide by the conjugate. This already we have done for another methods, yes, children? So what are we going to do here? We are going to focus on the denominator. What is the denominator here? 6 plus 2i. Now what are you going to do is, you are going to multiply and divide by the conjugate. What is the conjugate of 6 plus 2i? Conjugate. I hope you are clear with this term, children. Conjugate. What is the meaning of conjugate? You have to change the sign of the imaginary part. Yes. What is the sign of the imaginary part? It's plus. So what will be the conjugate? 6 minus 2i. So you are going to multiply and divide by 6 minus 2i. Okay, so this will be shown in the next step. So just write down 10 minus 5i upon 6 plus 2i into 6 minus 2i upon 6 minus 2i. I am just multiplying and dividing by the conjugate of the denominator. Do not, because we need a rectangular form. That means I just need the numerator part. So try to remove the denominator part. Clear? So is this step clear, children? What we have done here? We have multiplied and divided by the conjugate. What is the conjugate of 6 plus 2i? 6 minus 2i. How you get this? By changing the sign of the imaginary part. Imaginary part means the term which comes with I. Yes. So now we are just going to simplify it. Let's try to simplify, children. Come on. So take the numerators together. 10 minus 5i, 6 minus 2i, 6 plus 2i, 6 minus 2i. So I am just multiplication, so no need to worry. I have just taken the numerator together and the denominator together. So try to multiply, children. I just give you some time. Go for the calculation. Try to do the calculation by yourself. You people are doing the calculation. This is not a new thing to you, yes, children? You know how to multiply? Come on, multiply. I hope you are doing the work, children. Follow it. Okay. Let's check whether your answer and my answer tallies. Whether your answer and my answer are same. Let's have a check. I'm just going to take the first number as 10. So 10 6 are 60. 10 into minus 2i. 10 into minus 2i. This is going to be minus 20i. Be careful with the sign, children. 10 into minus 2. So minus 20i. Minus 5 into 6. Minus 30i. minus plus 5 2s are 10 I square. I hope you're clear, children. 10 6 are 60. 10 into minus 2, so minus 20i, minus 5 into 6, minus 30i, minus plus 10. 5 2s are 10 and I square. And for the denominator part, do not go on with the usual multiplication. We are going to use here an identity, that's a plus b, a minus b. This is of the form a plus b, a minus b. What is a plus b into a minus b, children? Yes, a square minus b square. So 6 square minus b, 2i the whole square. I hope you're clear. A square, a plus b into a minus b is a square minus b square. A is 6 square, and that is a square, and b square is 2i square. Clear, children? Now let's proceed with the sum. So what do you get here? $60 minus 20i minus 30i. So it's minus 50. Minus plus. So minus 20 minus 30 gives you minus 50i plus 10 minus 1. Are you clear, children? I square is minus 1. So you get here minus 1 upon 6 square 36 minus 2 square. What is 2 square, children? 4. And what is I square? It's minus 1. Be careful with the substitution. When you open the bracket, be careful. So see here, 60 was alone. Minus 20 minus 30 is minus 50i. And 10i square. 10i square means 10 into minus 1. I square, we have seen the powers of the imaginary unit, children. So what is the value for I square? Minus 1. So I have just placed here minus 1. Okay. Next, 36. 6 6 are 36. 2 square is 4. And I square, I get here I square. I know the value for I square, that's minus 1. So now let's try to rearrange and let's solve the sum. So I get here 60 minus 50i minus 10. 10 into minus 1 minus 10. 36 minus 4 into minus 1. Minus 4 into minus 1 is plus 4. Yes. So 50 minus 50i. So 50 minus 50i upon 40. Yes. Try to take 50 common. So 50, 1 minus I upon 40. Clear, children? So 0, 0 gets cancelled. So what is left? 5 by 4, 1 minus I. So this is the required rectangular form. A real part and a imaginary part. So what is the answer? 5 upon 4, 1 minus I. I hope you are clear with the multiplication and you know how to change the given number in terms of rectangular form. Try to solve it and get the answer, children, okay? So do not keep the imaginary number in the denominator part. Try to take the conjugate, multiply and divide by it and try to simplify the numbers. Is it clear, children? Okay. Now let's start with the second question. Yes, that means your homework is homework 2.4, question number 1, the third subpart. Homework, exercise 2.4, question number 1, the third subpart is your homework. Okay, now let's move to question number 2. Take down question number 2, children. What is there? If z is equal to x plus iy, find the following in rectangular form. Okay, you have to, again we are going to find the answer in rectangular form. Now what is the first part given to you? Real part of 1 by z. It's very, very easy exercise. I have just told you, just understand the concept and you have to just apply it, that's all. Once you are clear with the concept, the work becomes very, very easy. Okay, now let's proceed with our question number 2. What have they given you? They have given you the value for z. And what is the value for z given, children? X plus iy, okay? And they're asking you to find out the following in rectangular form. And the first part is you're going to find out the real part of 1 by z. Real part, RE means the real part. We have to find out the real part of 1 by z. First of all, let's go on substituting the value. So what do you get here? Real part of 1 upon. I know the value for z. What is the value for z? Yes, x plus iy. I have told you that do not keep the imaginary part in the denominator. So what are you going to do? You have to what? Take the conjugate and you have to multiply and divide by the conjugate. I hope you remember this point that we have used in our previous sum. Yes, children? So this is real part of 1 upon x plus iy. What is the conjugate of x plus iy? Yes, it's x minus iy. Good. How do you get x minus iy? You have to change the sign of the imaginary part. That's plus iy. So plus iy changes to minus iy. You have to multiply and also you have to divide by the conjugate. So real part of 1 upon x plus iy into x minus iy upon x minus iy. Clear, children? Okay, now let's solve the sum. Let's see the further steps. So this is equal to real part 1 into x minus iy is going to be x minus iy. There is no changes over here as usual. Now coming to the denominator part, I have told you do not go for the usual multiplication. Try to use the identity so that it will be easier for us. A plus b into a minus b. Shall we write it directly? What is the answer for a plus b into a minus b? A square minus b square. A square, what is a here? X. So x square. Clear? Minus b square. B square, that means I'll write here y square. Be careful, children. This is iy. Yes, children? So this is iy square. So I'm just writing down here y square. I square. What is the value for I square, children? It's minus 1. I hope you're clear. I'm doing the steps directly. So x square minus y. That is iy the whole square. So I square and y square. I have already written y square. Okay, I'll just write for you one step. Okay, I square. Y square, I square. This is real part of x minus iy square minus y square. What is the value for I square? It's minus 1. Yes, good. So real part of x minus iy x square plus y square. Minus y square into minus 1. Minus minus plus. So you get real part of x minus iy upon x square plus y square. Is it clear, children? Okay, now just be careful here. We are having both the parts together. Like we are having the real part here and we are having the imaginary part. But here we are just going to focus on the real part. See, children, this is very easy. I'll just continue here. I'll write one more step. So this is equal to real part of x upon x square plus y square. Try to write this plus, children, because we have the form x plus iy, yes? So try to write the main sign as plus. Plus I is here, yes, children? I. And what is the sign here, children? It's minus, yes. Minus y upon x square plus y square. Clear? Are you getting my point? So x square plus y square goes to both the terms. The common denominator, yes, children. So x upon x square plus y square plus I have taken the main sign as plus. So what is left here? Minus y. So minus y upon x square plus y square. I just need the real part. I am not at all worried about the imaginary part, because here what is being asked, you have to find out the real part. Yes, the part without I. So what is the answer? X upon x square plus y square. And suppose if they would have asked the imaginary part, what will be the answer? Minus y upon x square plus y square. This is the real answer. For imaginary, the answer is minus y upon x square plus y square. According to the question, they may change the question, they may ask the question for application, so you have to be thorough. So imaginary means you have to write only the imaginary part, that is the term or the numbers with the I. Clear, children? I hope you are clear. Good. So complete your sum number 2. The first part is done. X upon x square plus y square. So we have written the real part. And when you write the real part, try to remove that. Real, RE goes off, because we have written the real part. So x upon x square plus y square. Clear? So now let's go for the next one. Second one and third one you can do, children. So you are going to, same is a substitution. So you can try out that type of sums. So from 1, the third subpart was your homework. Yes, children? So from question number 2, the second subpart and the third subpart is your homework. From question number 2, the second subpart and the third subpart is your homework. Have you taken on the homework questions? This is a very, very important part. You have to make a note of your homework. Okay, children, let's continue with the third question. Take on the third question. What is the third question? Z1 is equal to, Z1 is equal to 2 minus I. Okay. What is Z2? Z2 is equal to minus 4 plus 3i. So these are the two complex numbers given to us. What is the first complex number? Z1 is equal to 2 minus I. Okay. What is Z2 given to you? Minus 4 plus 3i. Okay. What are you going to find out here? You are going to find out inverse. Yeah, children, inverse. I'll be just writing down like this. Z1, Z2 inverse. This is inverse. Minus 1 means inverse. Like you have already written A inverse. Yes, children? Yeah. So Z1 into Z2 inverse. And also you are going to find out Z1 upon Z2 inverse. So this is what we have to find out. So write down, this is the given part to find part. Z1, Z2 inverse, Z1 upon Z2 inverse. Let's go for the simplification part. Shall we start with the simplification? Okay, let's do the work. So first of all, I have to find out Z1 into Z2. Without finding Z1 into Z2, we cannot find the inverse of it. So Z1 into Z2. What is the meaning of Z1 into Z2? You have to multiply Z1 and Z1 with Z2. So write down the values. 2 minus I minus 4 plus 3i. What is Z1 into Z2? 2 minus I into minus 4 plus 3i. Just multiply. Minus 8. 2 into minus 4. Minus 8. 2 into 3i. 6i. Minus I into minus 4. Minus I into minus 4. That's plus 4i. Yes, good. Plus 4i. Are you clear, children? 2 into minus 4. Minus 8. 2 into 3i, 6i. Minus I into minus 4, plus 4i. Minus I into 3i, minus 3i square. I'll just do the expansion over here. Minus I into 3i. So what do you get here? Minus 3i square. Clear? Minus I into 3i. Minus 3i square. You people will make a mistake over here only. So you have to be very, very careful when you do the multiplication part. Okay. Now let's continue. Minus 8 plus 6i plus 4i. What is 6i plus 4i, children? Yes, what's that? 10i. So I'll write that 10i. Minus 3i square. What is I square? It's minus 1. So minus 8 plus 10i plus 3. Clear? Minus 8 plus 10i. I square, we know the value for I square. It's minus 1. Minus 3 into minus 1, it's plus 3. So you get here minus 5 plus 10i. I hope you're clear, children. Yes, I'm just bringing the real part and the imaginary part. So real part is minus 8 plus 3, I get minus 5. Minus plus minus, so minus 8 plus 3 gives you minus 5 and it's plus 10i. We have not arrived for the answer part. We have just found Z1 into Z2. So what are we going to do here? We are going to find out the inverse of it. What we are going to do? We have to find the inverse. Let's see how to find the inverse. So Z1, Z2 inverse. Children, this is very, very easy. Now what is the meaning of inverse? That means you have to write the reciprocal of it. So Z1, Z2 inverse means 1 upon Z1, Z2. I hope you are clear. How to write for Z1, Z2 inverse? Z1, Z2 inverse means 1 upon Z1 into Z2. 1 upon, yeah. So now what are you going to do? We know the value for Z1, Z2. Yes, children? Yes, we know the value. So just write down here 1 upon minus 5 plus 10i. Yes, it's 1 upon minus 5 plus 10i. Have told you that we should not keep the denominator as a, that is in the denominator part, we should not have any imaginary numbers like minus 5 plus 10i. So we have an imaginary part over there. So try to avoid it. So what is the work you are going to do? You are going to take the conjugate. How are you going to take the conjugate? Yes, you are going to change the sign. Yes. For which part are you going to change the sign? The imaginary part. Okay, what is the imaginary part over here? 10i. So this is what you get over here. So you get 1 upon minus 5 plus 10i into minus 5 minus 10i upon minus 5 minus 10i. Do not change the sign of the real part. You are going to change only the sign of the imaginary part. That's plus 10i changes to minus 10i and minus 10i. I hope you are clear, children. Okay. Now let's go for the calculation. Okay, you try out the calculation, children. Multiply the numerator part and multiply the denominator part. Multiply the numerator part, children. So what do you get here? 1 into this number. That means you get the same number. Minus 5 minus 10i. That's all. Okay, so numerator part is done. Now let's go for the denominator part. What is the denominator part? Yes. Minus 5 plus 10i minus 5 minus 10i. I have told you, you can use the identity. A plus b into a minus b. So this is equal to minus 5 minus 10i upon a square minus 5 square minus b square 10i square. So this is equal to minus 5 minus 10i minus 5 into minus 5. That's 25, yes, good. Minus 10 square, that's 100. I square, what is the value for I square, children? Minus 1, yes. So now I would be continuing over here. So this is equal to minus 5 minus 10i upon 25 plus 100. So minus 5 minus 10i upon 125. Okay children, so the question was to write down, actually whenever you write, try to write down in the terms of the rectangular form. So this is, I am going to take minus 5 common. So 1 plus 2i. Okay, I'll just take the common first, no problem. Let me, later I'll simplify. So this is 125. So 5 ones are, 5 twos are, 5 fives are. So what do you get here? Minus 1 upon 25, 1 plus 2i. You can just keep this as it is, or you can write this as 1 upon 25 minus 1 minus 2i. You have two ways of answering. You can write down, you can take the negative sign out, or you can take the, or you can just multiply by minus. It's one and the same. So here I have done the answer in two ways. I have just kept the answer in two ways. I just took the minus sign common. So 1 minus 1. So I get here 1 plus 2i. Just I am multiplying by minus sign. So I get here minus 1 minus 2i upon 25. So the answer is 1 upon 25 minus 1 minus 2i. Clear children? So we have completed the first part of question number 3. Let's go for the second part. What is the second part given to you? Yes, you have to find out the inverse for z1 upon z2. So before finding the inverse, we have to find out z1 upon z2. Write down the value for z1 children. What is z1 given to you? Yes, 2 minus I. What is z2 given? Minus 4 plus 3i, yes. So you know how to change, yes children? Yes, we should not keep the imaginary part in the denominator part. So you have to multiply and divide by the conjugate of this number. So multiply. So this is equal to 2 minus I minus 4 plus 3i into change. Whenever you are going for a conjugate, do not change the sign of the real part. You have to change the sign of the imaginary part. So this is minus 4 minus 3i minus 4 minus 3i. I hope you are clear with this part, yes children? So we have done a lot of sums. So you must be knowing how to do it. Okay, come on, proceed with the sums. Come on, find out the answer. Okay. So now what do you get here? So this is equal to 2 minus I minus 4 minus 3i upon, again a plus b into a minus b children. So minus 4 square plus 3i square. So 2 into minus 4 minus 8. 2 into minus 3i minus 6i. Minus I into minus 4 plus 4i. Minus I into minus 3i. Minus I into minus 3i. Minus minus plus. So plus 3i square. Minus 4 square 16 plus 9i square. That is, I'll write here directly 9 minus 1. Have you done the work children? So what we have got here, minus 8 minus 6i plus 4i plus 3i square, 16 plus 9 minus 1. So you get here minus 8, 3i square, yes children? So 3i square means? This is minus, yes, here we have made a mistake. So this is a square minus b square. So 16 minus minus. So you get here plus. So minus 8 minus 2i plus 3 minus 1. So this is 16 plus 9. Two into minus 4 minus 8. 2 into minus 3i, it's minus 6i. Minus I into minus 4 plus 4i, yes, that's correct. And minus I into minus 3i, so plus 3i square, that's correct. So this is minus 8 minus 2i plus 3 into minus 1. So you get minus 11 minus 2i upon 25. Minus 11 What is the answer, children? Minus 11 plus 2i is the answer. Somewhere we are making, so this is okay. So what we have found here, we have found z1 upon z2, yes children. So we have to find the inverse of z1 upon z2. So z1 upon z2 is equal to minus 11 minus 2i upon 25. So let's find out the inverse for it. So z1 upon z2 inverse is equal to reciprocal of this. So 25 upon minus 11 minus 2i. So this is into minus 11 plus 2i minus 11 plus 2i. What is the question here? The question is find z1 into z1 upon z2. Yes, children? Okay, so just find it. So this is equal to 25 minus 11 plus 2i upon. What is the value for 11 square? 121 minus 2 minus 1. 2 square is 4 minus 1. So 25 minus 11 plus 2i, 121 plus 4. So 25 minus 11 plus 2i, 125. 1s are 5s are. So it's 1 upon 5 minus 11 plus 2i. As we have arrived at a correct answer. Actually, we have done some in a lengthier method, children. We would have done it directly. So just I tried by another method. See, actually, okay, this method is correct. If you are trying this sum once again, see children, I'll just give you one shortcut method. So the question was to find out z1 upon z2 inverse, yes. So this means 1 upon z2 upon z1. So here it's 1 upon, sorry, this is 1 upon z1 upon z2. So this is z2 upon z1. So instead of finding z1 upon z2, you would have directly found z2 upon z1. I hope you are getting the shortcut method. So this is 1 upon z1 upon z2, which can be taken as z2 upon z1. Clear? You would have done by this method. But okay, no problem. Let us go for the method which we have followed for the previous sum. Yes, children, so we have found z1 into z2 and then we took the inverse of it. So now what we are going to do here, first of all you find z1 upon z2. So when you find z1 upon z2, what do you get here? Yes, minus 11 minus 2i upon 25. Now you have to find the inverse of it. That means take the reciprocal of it. So 25 upon minus 11 minus 2i. Take the conjugate of it. Simplify it. See, don't get confused. Minus 11 square is 121. Minus 2 square is 4. I square is minus 1. So you get the answer. Okay, children. So you get the answer is 1 upon 5 minus 11 plus 2i. Okay, children. So we have completed question number 3. Now you have one more work. You're going to complete question number 4. So what is the total number of homework questions? From question number 1, the third subpart. From question number 2, the second and the third subpart. And question number 4. It's very simple. You have to just substitute the work and get the answer. I hope you're clear with this, some children. It's a normal calculation. First we have found Z1 upon Z2. Finding the inverse. Inverse means take the reciprocal. So I am just taking the reciprocal. I have told you, do not keep the imaginary on the denominator part. So take the conjugate, simplify it, and you will get the answer. Is it clear, children? Okay. So we'll be continuing with the next question in the next class.